I've got to disassemble the lock plate for this Springfield Trapdoor 4570. I've been watching Mark Novak's channel, and he has a spring compressor to compress this main spring in order to take it out, and I'm getting ready to build one. I've got a little piece of scrap steel, 1/4 inch scrap steel, a thumb screw, and I'll be using this 5/8 round bar stock. If I had some square bar stock, that would probably be better, but I think I can make it work with this. So the first order of business, I'm going to cut the length of this 1/4 inch steel down to 2 3/8. That will make it slightly shorter than the main spring. It'll be coming roughly 1/4 inch from each end. Right now, the width of this bar is slightly over the width of the main spring. I think it'll work like that. I'm not sure just yet. I may have to grind it thinner. I need to remove a section of this bar stock between these two lines. I'm leaving this bottom part 3/8 of an inch thick, and I'll be drilling a hole and tapping it for my thumb screw to go into. And once I get this ground off the way I want it, I'm going to cut it to length, and it's going to be about 1.5 inches. That'll be the full length of the piece. This will be the upper jaw of the clamp, and then of course this 1/4 inch steel will be the lower jaw. So I'm taking out about 7/8 of an inch. Alright. Took my parts out to the bench grinder. I cleaned up this surface, and I ground me a notch in this piece of flat steel so it will fit into the notch on my bar stock. And now I'm just filing this portion that'll be the upper jaw to get it smooth and get the blade marks out of it. Okay, I've got my rod through this piece of 2x4 to hold it straight up and down. I've got my vice grips clamped onto the bottom of the rod to keep it from spinning. So we'll see how this goes. I'm drilling a 13/64 hole for the tap to cut 1/4 by 20 threads. Alright, the bit cleared the back side just barely. I have found when cutting threads, if I cut a little bit and then back it off, and I can keep on going without any danger of breaking the tap. It always gets to a point where it wants to bind, but backing it off cuts away the burr that's causing it to bind. I got a feeling I'm going to have to cut this back a little bit deeper. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and take this back out to the bench grinder and cut this notch back a little bit deeper. It's a little too close. The funnel screw is hitting too close on the edge of this piece. I want it right in the middle. I want to drill a hole partially through for the screw to set in. I think that will be deep enough. Let's see how hot this thing is. I believe that will get it. So now all I have to do is cut this piece to length and test it out. We're going to give this thing a test and see if it's actually going to work. The one Mark Novak is using stays together. I imagine the centerpiece is made similar to a C-clamp. It'll have some kind of spring wire in there that holds it in place and lets it swivel, but since this is just a one-off, I'm not going to go to that much trouble. I don't even know how I would do that anyway. Wow, that spring is more tough than it looks. Alright, it's lifting out. Hey, check it out. Well, I'm glad I took it out. It's got a good bit of gunk up under there. Thanks for watching.